Hi guys, and welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to talk about the movies that I watched in July, but if you want us to check out any books that I read in the month of July, I'll put a link to that down below, as well as I have a life wrap up for the month of July if you're interested. All of that will be down below, but this is the movie one, so let's get started and talk about some movies. I usually start these videos off with telling you the movies that I rewatched in the months in these months, but unfortunately in July I didn't rewatch a single movie. I didn't do a whole lot of watching movies. I was very stressed out in the month of July. I still am stressed about the certain thing, but I do feel a little bit better about it than I did in July. So not a whole lot of movies were watched, especially rewatched, which is unfortunate. I really do enjoy rewatching movies, and I do need to because I have so many that I still need to rewatch. But let's go into statistics. So I watched a total of 3 movies. Like I said, I didn't watch a whole lot of movies. 2 of them were directed by males, 1 was directed by a female. They were all different genres. We have 1 rom-com, 1 comedy, and 1 animation, which the animation I think was just like an action adventure. I watched a total of 312 minutes of movies, which is very low for me. It averages to about 10 minutes a day. That's very low. The longest movie that I watched was 118 minutes, and then the shortest movie that I watched was 93 minutes. I watched 1 2-star, 1 3.5 star, and 1 4-star. So my stars averaged to about 3.2, which is not good. Okay, so let's just get right in and start talking about the movies. This is probably going to be a short video. So the first movie that I have is Always Be My Maybe. This was a Netflix romantic comedy. It was really good. I enjoyed it. We follow these 2 people. They were friends growing up, they were really close, and then one night in high school they had sex, had a fight, and kind of like stopped talking to each other. So now we're following them, I want to say like 15 years later. Like I want to say they're in their 30s, and the one is super successful, the one is still like acting like a child in a sense, and still trying to live childhood fantasies that are not happening. But then she ends up, for some reason, I don't want to say for what reason, she ends up having to go back home, and she runs into him. And they kind of slowly but surely start their friendship back up, and then it kind of starts turning into a romance that everyone can see but them. It's a typical story, I guess. But I thought it was very well done, it was very well written, it was super funny, there was a great cameo that surprised me. So I'm not going to say who it is just because I loved the fact that I had no idea this cameo was going to be in there, and then when I find out what it was, I was so excited. So just know there's a really great cameo, and this cameo, this person did a fantastic job. Very over the top, but yet it worked with the story. So really enjoyed that. I felt like the main 2 characters definitely had really great chemistry. Her best friend was super funny, like she was probably my favorite character. I thought everyone's relationship with each other was really well done, like even like her relationship with her parents, his relationship with his like new girlfriend, just like all these different relationships I thought were very well done. I do think the ending dragged a bit, like it could have been wrapped up a little bit quicker, a little bit cleaner. So I don't think this was like anything special in the rom-com genre, but it was definitely one I enjoyed. So I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next movie I watched was Stuber. I went into this not really expecting much because the trailers just made it look like, you know, one of those stupid comedies, but I still like to just watch as many movies in the theaters as I possibly can, and it didn't deliver for me just as I expected. I had an enjoyable enough amount of time, but it was exactly what I expected. So Stuber, we follow Stu, who is an Uber driver, hence Stuber. And we also follow another character whose name I cannot remember because his name's not in the title, so I don't remember names. But it's played by Dave Bautista, or Batista, oh crap, how do you say his last name? I forget. Dave's character is a cop who just got laser eye surgery, and something that he's been a detective for a couple of years now, this like one case, finally we're able to like see the drug deal go down and catch him in the act and like get get the bad guy. But since he has laser eye surgery, he cannot drive. So he calls an Uber. And basically he sends this Uber on like a wild ride all day long on this, like throughout Los Angeles, trying to catch this guy. It takes them on a really wild journey. And that's pretty much the story. Now, I will say comedy is very subjective, and so it's up to you if it's the kind of comedy that you enjoy. I mean, some of it was funny, but it wasn't the kind of funny where like I laughed out loud or even chuckled. It was more just like a laugh inside my head here and there. I thought Kumail was great. I do think they had really great actors for this movie, but the movie I don't think brought enough out of them that I know that they're capable of. You know? I just kind of felt bored through this movie. And also something that kind of pissed me off, and I don't know why, but some of the things that they did with the Uber aspect of the movie is not how Uber works. It's not how it works. And it just bugged me. I also really hated this one character. I can't remember the character's name, but it was Kumail's boss. His character, I don't think was done well. I don't think it was written well. I don't think it was acted well, which is very upsetting because I do actually like that actor, not all the time. Basically, I just really enjoy him in American Vandal, but in some of the other things I've seen him in, he's not too great. And this one, I think, was his worst, to be honest. So it's very upsetting to see that because I do like him, but he was the worst part of this movie and he really brought it down. So overall, I really didn't enjoy it, but to be honest, that is what I expected, so I shouldn't really be surprised that I didn't like it. But anyway, I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. And then the last movie that I watched was The Lion King. I was actually really excited for this. I know a lot of people, like a lot of critics gave like bad reviews of it, and it had a bad review on Rotten Tomatoes. But that didn't deter me because I had a feeling I was going to like it, because the same thing happened with Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. Not a whole lot of people like really loved it, but then I loved it. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go in, I'm going to really enjoy this movie. And you know what, I did enjoy it. I can't talk about this movie without talking about the CGI. The CGI was some of the best CGI I've ever seen. It's definitely a leap forward in our technology and how we do CGI in films, because this was so good. They definitely felt super realistic to a sense where I actually got terrified because lions scare me. They do, so anytime a lion growled, I like jumped in my seat. I thought the voice acting was good. I don't think Beyonce really worked voice acting wise, only because like whenever she was like whenever Nala was on the screen and talking, it was like I couldn't see it as Nala, I could only see it as Beyonce. So that would like take me out of the story where it's like, oh, that's Beyonce, that's not Nala. I thought the person who did the voice of Scar, I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce his name because I know I will butcher it. He was phenomenal. Scar, the voice acting for Scar was the best in the entire movie. Scar was terrifying, and so were the hyenas. The songs, I feel like the songs had too many like riffs and runs in them. So the songs I don't think were as good as the original. And as much as like the story, it did stay true to the original cartoon like perfectly, and I did enjoy the movie and the story, but I don't think it gave me the same feels as the original cartoon. Like watching the original cartoon, it's like you get all these feelings, but for some reason watching this one, it was just like, yes, cool. Like I don't know, I didn't have that feeling that I get watching the cartoon Lion King, and I don't know why that is, but that is. So ultimately I did enjoy it. It's just not one of my favorites of the live action that they've done, so I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. And that is it for my movies. I'm sorry that this is so much shorter than all my other movie wrap-ups. I will try and watch a bunch more movies in the month of August. I am hoping to. I have a lot of movies that I do want to watch, so let's hope that I can actually watch them now that I don't feel as stressed as I was in July. So also please go check out my July reading wrap-up and my July life wrap-up, and then I will see you guys later with more videos. Bye!